What's going on, everyone? In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a Stasis Hunter build that is revolving around Renewal Grasps. The Renewal Grasp is exotic perk reads as follows: Depths of Duskfield. Your Duskfield grenades have a much larger effect radius. Allies inside the Duskfield take reduced damage, and targets inside the area deal reduced damage. Essentially, what this build is going to be revolving around is us throwing our nades all the time and having enemies do less damage inside, as well as we're going to be taking less damage when we're inside our Duskfield nade. However, before we get into the video here, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new here. I appreciate each and every one of you guys stopping by to take a look at this video. Without further ado though, let's get into the build. In our subclass here, for our dodge, I like to use Gambler's Dodge. You could use Marksman if you want. However, I like the ability to get our melee back as much as possible. For our jump, again, personal preference, I prefer triple jump in PvE. For our nades, obviously we're going to be running the Duskfield nade, as that is what Renewal Grasp completely revolves around. For our aspects here, we're going to be starting off with Grim Harvest. Defeating slowed or frozen combatants creates stasis shards. These shards picked up grant melee energy to you and your allies. Since we're going to be slowing and freezing a ton of combatants inside our Duskfield, this works perfectly with our build. Our next aspect is Touch of Winter. Your Glacier, Duskfield, and Cold Snap grenades have enhanced functionality. This basically makes our Duskfield even larger, which is perfect for our Renewal Grasp. For our fragments here, starting off is Whisper of Chains. When you are near frozen targets or a friendly stasis crystal, you will take reduced damage. So this is going to pair perfectly with Renewal Grasps. We're going to be taking even less damage when we're inside our Duskfield because of this. You also get a nice boost to recovery, which is always nice. The next one is Whisper of Conduction. Nearby stasis shards track to your position, plus 10 to resilience and intellect. Since we're going to be creating stasis shards with our aspects here, this is perfect as they're going to come towards us, plus the boost to resilience and intellect is always nice. Next up is Whisper of Fissures. Increase the damage and size of the burst of stasis when you destroy a stasis crystal or defeat a frozen target. So when we're defeating those frozen targets inside our Duskfield, the damage and size of the stasis burst is going to be even larger due to this. Next up is Whisper of Shards. Shattering a stasis crystal temporarily boosts your grenade recharge rate. Shattering additional ones will increase the duration of this benefit, plus 10 to resilience as well. Each Duskfield grenade has a stasis crystal in the center of it, so when you destroy that, your grenade recharge rate will increase. This is perfect to synergize with our build, as we're going to be throwing grenades as much as possible. The last one is Whisper of Torment. You gain grenade energy each time you take damage from target. Again, the more nades we can get, the better it is. For our weapons here, we want to run as much stasis weaponry as possible. So if you want to run something like the new Prolonged Engagement in the kinetic slot, this would be perfect. Stasis weapons are great with this build. In the heavy slot here, we got things like Fire and Forget, the new linear fusion rifle. This thing is an absolute beast. If you want to run things like Chain of Command from the Season of Risen, you could do that as well. Or you could run the Zephyr Sword, which rolls with Cold Steel. Now, if we want to take a look over at our mods on our armor here, on the helmet, we're going to start off with Harmonic Siphon as well as Font of Might. Because we are using the mod on our gauntlets called Elemental Shards, which allows the stasis shards that we pick up to count as elemental wells, we're going to be proccing Font of Might quite a bit. And since we're using as many stasis weapons as possible, Harmonic Siphon will be proccing and dropping Orbs of Power because we're getting kills with weapons that match our subclass. On our chest piece here, we're going to be running Firepower. This will allow us to get our grenade energy back a little bit faster when we are charged with light due to Elemental Charge. Since we become charged with light anytime we pick up one of those stasis shards. And then on our cloak here, we have another Firepower. So we have two Firepower mods, which allow us to have more grenade energy back each time we throw it, which pairs perfectly since we can get charged with light anytime we pick up one of those stasis shards, which is going to be happening quite a bit with the amount of stasis crystals that we're going to be creating in our Duskfield nades when we throw them. One thing I would like to note though is I would recommend getting as much discipline on your character as you can here. As you can see, I have 100 discipline, which allows me to get the fastest recharge rate on our grenades, which is currently sitting at 24 seconds, which is definitely going to be reduced by the amount of synergy we have within this build. Overall, this build is a ton of fun to use. If you guys have tried this build out before, please let me know. If you're new to this build and you're going to give this a go, let me know what you think of it. Regardless, I appreciate you guys making it to the end of the video here. Be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.